You mentioned that everybody's experimenting right now, and if we don't do that, we're going to fall behind. But is that really true? Because I've also been hearing that there's been quite a bit of resistance. There's I think some fear and distrust, maybe largely in leadership in organizations about the impact of AI in there, but also perhaps apprehension of experimenting because of the fear of their jobs might be disrupted. And so what are you noticing around that? Is it true? Is sort of right across the board there's open experimentation and embracing, or is there a resistance? And what can leaders do to support that if that's the case?
I'm not sure if there is any resistance, at least from what I'm seeing and from talking to our customers and then even from an academia perspective. I'm not seeing any resistance per se. It's just that where do we start? How do we go about with it? What should we be doing? Is where things are a little fuzzy, right? And, and as always, there are leaders and laggards. The leaders know what they need to do, and the laggards need help in terms of strategizing what needs to be done. Right? But the one thing common, some people are vocal about it, some people are not, is how do we do this responsibly, right? From what used to be deterministic is now becoming probabilistic, right? But the great thing is, you know, people are okay with it. People are, I'm saying, okay, AI will make mistakes, and we are okay with it. 3 4 years ago, that wasn't the case. People wouldn't take it, right? I mean, in the consumer AI, there was, right? For example, if you're on a social media feed, and if the translation doesn't do well, or if it doesn't translate, people were okay with it, right? But that wasn't the case in enterprise systems. But now it is sort of like, slowly rewiring the mind that it's okay. It's got its own limits, but it still does better than not having. So it is that mindset that is really helping, right? And so the apprehensions would be as, a lot of things is unknowns. Otherwise, people are generally very receptive, and they do want to, because for various reasons, right? One, the utility of it. Two is the fear of missing out, right? And they want, if they don't do it, their competition would do it, so they have to. And that is where, the whole trends are moving towards.